Hi fam, how are you? Welcome to La Fama Blur. Don't forget to subscribe and like. You're not allowed to dislike though, but you can like or nothing. No reaction is better than a negative reaction. So just wanted to share another story with you about my relationship and you know if you are going through a similar situation, my prayer for you is that God will keep you in your right frame of mind and that He'll just protect you emotionally. Because at the end of the day, that's how impactful a divorce can be. That's how impactful a failed relationship can be. And, we look at failure differently. A failed relationship doesn't necessarily have it shouldn't have an impact on you in terms of making you feel that you did not make the relationship work. If you know you did, you put your time and effort into it and it didn't work, that's fine. A failed relationship simply opens up the door for new relationships, whether it's friendships or possible another relationship that will lead into a marriage. It just opens up the door. It opens you up to new possibilities because you're not holding on to something that can't be, that shouldn't be, that should have been that shouldn't have been in the first place. So once you open up yourself to new possibilities, you'd be surprised what can happen. It's almost as if it's a magnet. The positive things will just simply fall around you. Um, so don't ever look at a failed relationship as a failure because it's not. A lot of times it's an eye opener for you to put yourself first, for you to start thinking about how to be the best version of yourself. And so those are the things that I want to concentrate on. How to be the best version of myself, how to continue to fulfill my purpose because I have a purpose. I was created for a purpose. Um, I was made for something greater. And so my desire is to always make sure that I fulfill that. I'm sorry, you guys. Please forgive that noise that keeps on popping. Um, Hopefully that was it. But anyway, that was my email indicator that I definitely need to disable when I do these videos. But wanted to share a story about when I was dating my ex-husband. We were at the point of marriage. We were looking for a photographer. So what I started doing, I started attending certain wedding ceremonies at the church just to kind of see who folks were using as their photographers. And so, lo and behold, I attended this wedding and I saw this guy. I mean, he was going out of his way to get the most candid shots, shots that most people wouldn't even think of, getting behind the curtain to get the ideal shot of the bride and groom's face or the finger when the ring is actually being inserted into the finger to get that specific shot. Anyway, he was just like going out on a limb. I mean, literally. So I was like, oh my goodness, I want a photographer who can actually capture every moment. And so at the time, I got his card, spoke to my fiance about it, and my fiance had been sold on this gal who was the pastor's daughter, whom I vaguely recall that maybe we had a conversation with her, but there was no commitment. We had not given her a deposit, nothing. But he says, no, we're going to go with this gal, let's say Lisa, who is the pastor's daughter. And so I was like, why? I mean, I went to search for the best of the best. And so I got a price from this guy. He was really reasonable. But my fiance decided, no, we're going with the pastor's daughter. And the only reason he was adamant about utilizing this gal is simply because she was in the church, she was part of the church, and he felt that he was committed to using her services. And I was livid, but at the time, here I am, the fiance. Um, you know, I did not want to make a big deal about it because at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, I'm going to trust him. This is the man that I'm going to commit to. I should trust his decisions. Well, guess what happened? This chick ended up losing the flash drive. We did not get any pictures from her. She said she was trying to retrieve things that she may have backed up. I don't recall whether we had maybe max, maybe 20 pictures that she was able to retrieve. Throughout that entire day, we had no pictures. But being the person that I am, I always have to have a backup plan. So at the time, I didn't tell my husband this, but I had a friend, we had a mutual friend who always had a camera. And so I asked him, I said, hey, would you be able to just bring your camera to the wedding and just take pictures, just take random pictures, so that, we'll have duplicates of everything possibly, or pictures that this gal, whom I thought was going to be a great photographer, trusting my husband, in case, we would have this guy as a backup. Well, guess what? He ended up being the photographer because every single shot he took was done in perfection. And we utilized every single shot to create our wedding album later on. But I was so thankful that I had asked this guy to just bring his camera because he was going to be part of the guest anyway. So he was going to be there attending the wedding. So I'm just thankful that I was proactive, which is how we almost have to be as women in relationships with folks or men that we don't really fully trust. And I mean, looking back now, I can see that I did not trust his decision. I really didn't, because I did not know this gal. I had not seen her work other than the fact that she had a website up. But this guy, I went to the wedding ceremony. I saw how he was going out of a limb to take every shot and make every moment count. So that's what I was going by. And I kind of wish that my fiance, I don't even know, my ex-husband had trusted me enough to say, oh, well, you've seen this guy, you've seen his work. Okay, let's go for it. And, I can't really say whether that was an indication and that I could have used it as, I could have seen it as a red flag. I don't know. I mean, we're supposed to disagree and then agree. So at the end of the day, it would turn out not to be a good decision, but it could have been a good decision. I have no idea. But I did not like the fact that he simply did not want to use this gal, did not want to use this photographer and use this gal because of her association with the church. Because her association with the church had nothing to do with my wedding. At the end of the day, I'm paying for the services. So if I didn't feel comfortable with her services, I think, I don't know, just like I trusted him with that decision, he should have trusted me as well because I had proof to back up my decision. Anyway, that was one of the incidents that happened where later on I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, there were a lot of decisions that he made that ended up being detrimental in our marriage. I have to say that. I have to use that word because it's true. Um, so I'm just thankful that at the end of the day, God gave me the wisdom to trust myself and trust that I rather do better by myself than to be in a relationship where I'm not validated or my decisions, my thoughts are not appreciated. And towards the tail end of our relationship, that's how I felt. Because well, whenever I would make a suggestion, excuse me, he would always bounce back the thoughts, the decision that I would come up with someone else. He'll check in with his friends, check in with a family member. And I'm like, wait a minute, what was the point of marrying me to begin with? I mean, it's for us to be a partner and not always second guessing whether we're making the right decision. And if we do make the wrong decision, we can still support each other and trust that we will learn from that decision and move forward. But anyway, so that's the story I wanted to share with you today about the photographer. And the moral of the story is it's not about the photographer. It's really about the fact that I did my homework and yet it was not enough for him to trust me and move forward with my decision. So it takes teamwork naturally. And looking back, we didn't have that. Yeah, we didn't operate as a team at all. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you have a positive comment, please feel free to leave it. Otherwise, until next time, thank you. Well, thank you for listening to La Femme Bleue.